We are live.
There, okay. Good evening, welcome to the November 13th, 2023 City Council meeting for Rhode Island. Sorry about, we're having some technical difficulties, so we'll get started here just a few minutes late. I'm our Assistant Mayor, Neil Prokosh, in the absence of our Mayor, Julie Sander. So we'll call the meeting to order. Look for a motion to approve the claims and the minutes as presented.
Can I just ask a question here on the calibrations and controls? Is that a new company that we're using now for the calibrating the meter at the lift station? Oh, I don't recall that name at all. That's always been, is that what this is for? Annual verification? I don't know, 50, okay. I make a motion to approve the claims and minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Second Schneider.
Second Schneider, okay, thank you, Krista. Is there any discussion? If no discussion, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye, Schneider.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, we have some time tonight for open forum. If there's anyone that would like to address the council that isn't already on the agenda. Mr. Mark Gleesner, please step forward.
Hello, at the beginning place, or can I just?
How about right here?
Do I deal?
But you can, it's not.
Use the walker there.
So I'm here on behalf of the Lions Club. Last year, we put some lights in the park. We did tree wraps on 7 trees. We had to get the power from the shelter, which is across the other side of the park. So we had 2 100-foot cords, ran it across. And when the snow covered it, it was fine. When they moved snow out of Grandma's house and cut the line, that wasn't so good. But anyway, we're looking at digging a line in from the shelter, coming down to the power pole on the north side, and then swinging east and west over to that little triangle planter on the northwest corner, and then maybe come down along Main Street there. I didn't, did you hear that one?
Marty filled me in, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, and we'd like, Lions will cover any of the expense. They'd like to get some lights in the park and add some things as time goes on. And so I'd like permission from the council to dig in some lines so that we can hook up and not have power lines necessarily exposed across the park area. That's kind of it in a nutshell. Any questions?
Would we be trying to get that done yet this fall?
Well, we were thinking of waiting until next year, but with the weather being so nice, let's do it now. I guess is kind of the sentiment I'm hearing.
Do you have somebody lined up? to do the work?
Dave, do you know if anybody's lined up?
Guy Osterfeld is on board.
Okay.
He knew it was coming and he's saying, let's do it sooner than later here. So,
Okay.
The white flags that are in the park were just for discussion. It's not necessarily the planned route, but Wade Zimmerman is involved as well, so.
Is there anything underground, Dave, that we would?
Sheehan's have a gas line there, and on the new southern line, the city has a water line as well.
Whoever would do the work would have to do call over state, right? And then those should be located at that time.
I'm
Right.
sure.
Yes, right. Yeah. That would be done.
I can't, so does anybody have any thoughts in regard to that, council people?
The Lions said they put the bill for it, so I
My,
don't see a problem with it.
my only question would be the electric bill, are these gonna be electric outlets for anyone that can just plug in randomly when they're not being used for the other things, or do we want to put any thing in place, or just gonna leave it as is?
We currently have outlets in the park that are accessible
Okay.
24/7. in the shelter.
Down in the shelter. Is the service large enough down there to?
Yes.
Yep,
It's not a problem.
not a problem. Any other thoughts?
One comment was made, if it is an issue that someone's plugging their car in, Wade says there is lock boxes that you can put over the outlets as well too.
You can just lock off the breaker too, Dave. You can just lock off the breaker at the panel.
Okay,
Okay. Should we do it in the form of a motion for approval? Anybody else have any thoughts or questions on it? While Mark's here? I guess I'd look for a motion from someone, please, for approval.
Would they plan then to reseed and do all that sort of thing too?
I would imagine, yes. Well, yeah. Whatever it takes.
Put it back to what it was.
What it was.
I say,
Yeah.
Likely not coming in with a woeful Caterpillar.
these would be knifed in like a gas lamp,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
won't know what was in.
Yep. All right. Anybody interested in moving that as motion? To
How much of a hurry, I guess I just think it would be nice to see the actual plan of where the lines are going to go.
Plus, my journey here tonight, in that the time is short and probably not time enough for another council meeting.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how to,
Yeah.
I'm the messenger.
It's kind of just hard to give an open-ended, yes, dig, lines in our park and not have any idea where they're going to go. Other than in the park somewhere.
Well, it sounds like from the shelter cut across to the merry-go-round and the slide, and then probably up to the power pole or close to it, and then run straight across parallel to Dogwood Avenue, and then possibly a line running parallel to Main Street. That's all I'm aware of at the moment. So that kind of an L-shaped decoration on that side of the park, rather than on the residential side. So, well, that's where it's there. So I'm guessing that would be the plan.
Well, like whenever it's done, then the records will be left here at City Hall, so we know what lines are on our property. That
Yeah,
would be nice.
especially if they wanna put in new equipment at some point.
They should
down the
fill out
road.
the permit,
Uh,
just something so you have a map of,
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, yeah,
you know,
yeah. that'd be good.
yeah.
Okay.
I would move to approve, the project for the Lions Club to put the electrical in the park.
I'll second that. Bill?
I'll second.
All right, any other discussion? It's understood that the Lions will put it back to which that the land was before we did the work, and also that we'll complete a permit, Mark, if you don't mind, just so we have kind of a map once it's, okay? Any other discussion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Hi, Schneider.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Well, thank you
Mark.
very much.
Thank you very much.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry, yeah, say that. Well, it looked nice last year, and it'll look nicer when we get a little more power there, so thank you. Thank you. All right, anyone else that would like to address the council this evening that's not already on the agenda? All right, we'll move on then to the law enforcement. All right, here we go.
So I'm just kind of get your ideas on, we have that RV from the abatement that we did at 1060 Highway Avenue back in May. The Vogel had until July 27th to make arrangements to get his property, and he did not. So currently the RV, there's a trailer, a metal trailer with some junk on it, and then a shipping container that we have stored at the Sacred Heart County Shop property there. We had it towed there just so it didn't sit at Ed's towing lot, gaining storage fees.
Thank you.
However, with winter time coming, they asked if possible if we could get that removed from where it's at. So we reached out to a couple different places. We tried Nelson Salvage. Initially, he was interested. However, he's no longer interested in really any of it. So we reached out to Northern Recycling up in Wilmer. And they said they'll take the motorhome as a donation at no expense. However, we need to remove like the AC unit, the fridge, the stove, heater, basically gut the thing. And then they'll take it and not charge anything to accept that. As far as the trailer, they'll accept that too, and then, but that actually depend upon whatever the scrap price is, the city could get a check for whatever that is. As far as getting the motorhome up there, we've contacted Ed's Towing, and they estimated anywhere from $550 to $660 to tow it up there. And the appliances that we take out of the motorhome, surplus warehouse up in Wilmer, we'll take those. There's a fee to get rid of those. Fridge and the AC unit, $75 each. And then everything else is $10 to get rid of that. So upwards of $200 potentially to get rid of the appliances and whatever we take out of there. And then the idea for the storage container was to do a auction for that, sell that to hopefully maybe offset some of the cost to get rid of the other property. But we're open to any other ideas. That's just kind of what we've come up with. Just wanted to reach out to any of you if you had any better ideas to get that, where to get rid of it at. But yeah, I guess the county shop's looking to get some space with the snow coming at some point.
I would agree with all your recommendations. Me personally, yes. Get rid of the stuff however you can.
Who would take all the appliances?
So we would do it. We
You
would
guys
get it
would?
up there. We would just get a county truck, haul it up there. Same with that trailer. We didn't know, I don't know that's road legal. So we talked about just lifting it onto a trailer, borrow one of the county trucks, trailers, haul it up there, and then they would just remove it for us up there. That was the plan.
Gift that keeps giving.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I don't have any other suggestions on how to get rid of it. You guys, I'm sure you've had to do some type of this type of work before, so. Dave, do you have any suggestions on,
I think they're on top of it.
yeah,
Follow it.
so do we need a motion in regard to how to proceed? So that they can feel,
I would make a motion to use the recommendations of the Renville County Sheriff's Office to dispose of the 3 items from 1060 Highway Avenue.
okay, I'll second that. Any other discussion? So is there anything else at the house? Like, there's 2 vehicles there now. Are those part of this also, or?
No, those are current, no, those are not part of it.
Okay.
This was from the last.
This was from the last abatement, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's just primarily the items we discussed is.
All right.
And then get rid of, so.
Okay, any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi, Schneider.
Opposed? Motion passes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So is there any what are the next steps in regard to the house? Is there anything that you can share with us in regard to that?
So I spoke to Deputy Husband, who's kind of leading the charge on that, and he mentioned that Tracy was getting the correspondence for that.
Yes, so I talked to the lawyer and they have, his time is up. And so we've gotten a court date for when to get the judges to sign off to take the house down. And that the soonest they could get it was the middle of December. Yeah. They had it at the end of December and then I got an email back and they're like, oh, I was able to talk to them and got it moved up a week, so. Yeah,
So at that point, then if the judge approves that, then we can raise the house.
yes,
So do we have to then go out and get bids
yes, looking to
at
get
that
them.
time?
Mhm.
Can we do any of that pre?
So I asked the lawyer if we could go and get bids now, and he said, yes. I haven't done it because I was waiting kind of judges get the okay for approval, because I would hate to. I didn't know when it was going, when the court case originally was going to be announced, if it's the middle of December, and I have a better idea.
The good contact, I think I told you, was John
Yep.
Mitchell. He'll tell you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
called him and
Good.
he gave me, the people, a list of people that I should
Yeah.
contact.
Okay.
To get bids from.
You will-
This is Councilman Schneider. Do we have an issue if he's squatting in the house? Like, I know they have like that cold weather law. Are we gonna face some like issues with that?
You mean as far as when it comes time
Yeah,
to
where he's there.
raise the property?
He's got himself
Yes.
chained to the.
Yeah. Well, I think at that point, we'll have the court order that we can, then he can be removed from the property.
Thank you, Krista.
The one issue with getting the bids now is that they would have to be from outside, because obviously he's probably not gonna let any of them get into the house
Yeah.
We
to see.
just, and I'm sure we'll have to do the abatement of the asbestos, still have to be an
Asbestos, sure.
inspection. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Okay. All right, anything more for Deputy Jakes? Thank you, sir. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
All right, we'll move on. Agenda item 3, approved resolution 8-23, the application to AARP Network of Age-Friendly States and Communities.
Wherever.
Right here, please. Right here.
Place of honor
Yes.
today, right?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to introduce myself first. I'm Betty Christensen. I drove over from Montevideo tonight. I work for the Area Agency on Aging. And over the past year and a half or so, I've worked with several volunteers from Bird Island, Deb, Tracy, Mark and Rosemary, and a few others. And it was a grant through our office with the funding from the Southwest Initiative Foundation that put up the little gazebo next to the library. Excuse me, sorry, kind of have a cold. As part of that process, we encourage communities to go through the resolution and send a letter to our Minnesota to become an age-friendly community. The nice part about the project that we went through is that we did a survey of the community, so that part is already completed. And it really doesn't, other than your time tonight, it doesn't cost the city anything to do this. It does get your name on the list of age-friendly communities in Minnesota. So other communities who've also gone through the process. Excuse me. And the other advantage that I see is that we expect that there will be grant funds available for age-friendly Minnesota projects. Bird Island did receive a grant this year, but going through this process for the council to approve your designation as an age-friendly community, I think would open some doors in the future for future grants.
Okay.
If you have any questions?
I don't.
Tracy, you have any questions? Any of the council? No?
I would move to approve resolution 823 and send the letter that we got here was submitted. Yep, letters on the back.
That letter's on the back side,
Yeah.
right, okay. Okay. There's been a motion by Deb. I'll second. Bill seconds. Is there any other discussion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Hi, Schneider.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Betty.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Thank you.
Betty.
I put the gazebo together. You did?
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you really?
The line's
Thanks.
working.
Oh, all right.
Nice job, Bill. Thank you. Thank you, Betty.
Yes.
Take care of your cold.
Thanks.
All right, so that needs a signature, but can we wait until the mayor returns since it's all down up with her name? Okay, you're good. All right, item number 4, discussion regarding adoption of city ordinance regulating the use of cannabis and cannabis-derived products in public places.
So I haven't actually put together an ordinance, but this is the ordinance that the county has passed, and there have been other cities in the county who have adopted this ordinance, and it's highly recommended by the county for the cities to adopt it.
Do you know which towns have already approved?
I know Buffalo Lake has done it for sure. Hector was looking at doing it at their next council meeting. I'm not 100% sure what other ones, but have or have not yet.
This basically is for public places, right?
Right.
My first thought when I read it was that if it's good enough for the county, I thought it would be good enough for us. I mean, that they've done some research and some legwork on it. That was my first,
Yeah, when I see the
Feeling.
signatures on the back, I agree with that.
pardon?
Yeah, when I see these people,
Yeah,
so yeah.
so, is this an action item or just discussion item?
Just the discussion and.
Okay,
I'm assuming you could just fill in the city and
see,
say,
Brian.
and have it ready maybe for the next.
Yeah, but I just wanted to,
Yep,
before I
yep,
went there, I
yeah.
wanted to be sure that
Yeah.
we were on board and okay
Yep,
with that.
Yep.
I am, I guess that's my feeling with the city, the county, I'm sure has done a lot of legwork to get to this point, so. Okay, thank you, Tracy, for bringing that to our attention. All right, next item, approve resolution 9.9-23, authorizing the sale of real estate.
These are 2 lots,
On 13th,
on 13th Street.
Yes, these are 2 lots on 13th Street, lots 6 and 7, just north of my church stake.
And
And the little, spot for Cherry Avenue, if that were to go through, it's right through that. That would be in between, like in these spots.
okay? And this number is the assessed,
this would have been following the policy that the city approved.
so much
It
per
was a
square
couple
foot
years-
or
Yeah,
or front
yeah,
foot.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Now it must change, we didn't used to have to do a resolution,
Oh.
but I'm assuming that something
Yeah.
changed in the law, that, yeah.
We hadn't done it before, and so when Krista, from the law office, told me she was gonna want us to approve the resolution, because I had sent her the resolution that we had approved getting our sale price and everything for the sale and stuff, and he asked for us to approve this resolution.
I'll look for a motion to approve resolution 9-23.
I would make a motion to approve resolution 923.
Yep,
I'll second.
and Bill. Is there any discussion? I think the only discussion, quick question I have is, just could you remind me a little bit about, so if they buy the lots, is there a certain time frame of which they need to build?
The resolution that was adopted with the sale price, and it also states that they have 1 year to build.
1 year to build? Okay. And that's, okay. Very good. Okay. Any other discussion? Krista, any discussion? Nope. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Hi, Schneider.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Good. Good. All right, well, item number 6, approve 2023 fire contracts with the townships.
Did you by any chance contact Olivia or Hector? This is just to see what theirs are.
I have not.
Okay. I know I remember doing it last year. There was some issues. If my memory serves, we were a little higher than Olivia, but lower than Hector. So we were kind of right in the middle. I think, I mean, I'd be okay approving them as is, but maybe before next year, we get an idea on if we're still kind of right where we need to be, so there's no issues.
We got all the same ones we got had last year, or for this year.
Well, we share some with Hector. Do we share in Hector? No, we share with Olivia,
I think there's
maybe Franklin. I'm not sure exactly, but I know we share some with Olivia. There's just been some issues that's come up with some of the townships on
Yep.
that, so.
I think I remember that meeting
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But these contracts are no changes from last year, correct?
Right.
Okay. All right, we'll look for a motion to approve the fire contracts for this would be 2024 fire contracts, correct?
Yes.
2024, okay.
I would make a motion to approve the 2024 contracts with the townships.
And I will second.
Kevin, Bill, okay, any discussion? Krista? Nope. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes, thank you. I just noted that on the agenda for 2024 fire contracts. And I'm assuming possibly for the
Yes.
Learning Fun House.
Sorry.
No, that's right. That's good. Approve, next item is approve the 2024 lease agreement with the Learning Fun House. It's attached in our packet and there are no changes from last year's contract.
For the rent, okay?
The rent is the same. I've done some research, but I couldn't find my notes, and it looks like just to see about how often we have raised our prices, and I didn't change it at all, because I wanted you guys to discuss it, make the changes, but it's been, I wanna say at least 5 years since we've raised their price, and I think we should, with the cost of inflation and everything else, I know they have had their struggles too, but I think at some point we do not, and it doesn't have to be a big increase, but I do think we need to look at increasing it every now and again as well. Whether it be this year or next year. But it looks like it's been 5 years or so since they have increased it.
Okay.
So the EDA continues to get monthly reports, right?
Yes.
Howard, things going okay, or,
It-
I just,
It's a daycare or is just really a challenge, I think, and there was one that, was it in Danny or Renville that just closed down? And so,
Middle
I mean, I appreciate your comment about the increase and that it's been a while. I think they're trying to do a lot of different things, fundraisers and gone to a different payment system. So in regards to try to generate a little more money, and they're having trouble with staffing, and so I think maybe we could consider taking a look at it next year if it was my thought, but
I agree with that.
yeah.
I'm a little concerned with the state, are they still getting the state?
Yes.
Because that was gonna come to an end.
It was.
Yeah.
But I believe it's gonna continue now
That's what-
The
for
next
2 years,
I
I
believe.
think.
Yeah.
So at least we're good for,
Yeah.
they're good for 2 years.
Yeah.
That would be a big concern if that goes away,
Absolutely.
what they're gonna do then, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd agree with Neil on waiting.
So, look for a motion to approve the lease as is for the 2024 year.
I'll make a motion to
Bill?
approve the lease.
I'll
I'll
second.
second Schneider.
Krista, okay. Any other discussion? We'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 I Schneider.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. All right. And now, MediaCom. No, I'm sorry. Discuss possible uses of public safety aid, $43,759.
So I asked Tracy earlier, we're city, we're under 10,000, so I was kind of wondering why. When it says about the program, one-time appropriations allocated 30% to counties in tribal and 70% to city towns with population over 10,000. We're not over 10,000. But yet our
Last
name,
time I checked.
our name is on there.
We're on the
isn't it?
list and we have a certified amount.
So I guess.
Do we take the money or they get mad?
Take it, spend it as quickly as we
That's
can.
I mean,
Yeah,
we'll
when
wait.
was it put in though? I mean, was it put in, when was the application, were they put in, were we over at 10 at that time?
10,000.
10,000.
Oh, 10,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1,000.
10,000.
But if the
Yeah.
county was over 10,000, do all the cities get a portion of the county? Maybe,
I guess
because
so.
it
But
says cities or counties, doesn't it?
30%, 30% to counties. 70% is.
But you look at these other towns, yeah, they're not over 10,000.
No, I understand that. I'm just, it's kind of contrary to what they write about the program, that's all.
And I know this was one of the big pushes, small cities. People really pushed to make sure us small cities were taken care of as well too with this. So
I guess we'll just make sure not to have it spent before that money actually.
that's why I have not put it on the agenda yet. And I waited to make sure this was the certified public safety amounts in aid with our name on the list
So,
and we're certified.
Krista, does the MRU need anything?
A new rig?
Next.
How about the fire department or something like that?
Yeah, well, we talked about that.
Jeff had talked to me this summer when I heard that we were getting it, and one of his suggestions were to put the radar speed limit signs, radars next to our speed limit coming into town on all 4 directions if possible. And we had done some digging, and I don't remember what size it was, but it was around $5,000 for a sign, per sign.
The sheriff could give you the right, he was the one, we looked at this before,
That's where I got the.
Yeah, yeah.
I talked to Scott about
and
it.
it came from Scott.
But these were ones that, when I looked at it this summer, it was ones, so they would replace them for free. There was a lifetime, or there was a lifetime warranty, or there was very little money to replace them. It was out of Kentucky or North Carolina or something.
Somewhere over in that
Yeah.
area.
But so there was you could turn them in and they would give you another one refurbished for like $200. It was pretty reasonable.
We talked about
And that came from Scott.
Yeah,
Well, there's no doubt people come through this town fast.
Mhm. They
And
don't like
hard.
to use the turning lane too, to pass you when they come into town.
Oh, yeah.
Had that happen to me on my way to work before.
So when will these funds potentially hit our account?
They're supposed to be coming in December, so I just kind of wanted to start the discussion and.
Get the juices flowing, okay.
in the fire department, you said we're looking for more turnout gear, or not?
They were looking at wanting to get 4 additional sets of turnout gear, I believe it was. Cause when they bought all the last 12 sets, they'd gone from brown to black, and a lot of their stuff is outdated and needs to be replaced, so they had like, I believe 4 more sets that they needed to be replaced.
We've just got 15, right?
12 or 15.
What was it, 12?
I thought it was
Oh, okay,
12.
maybe that's right. Okay, yeah. But that's another idea, I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Stuff to think about.
Good. Well, everybody put your Christmas list together, so. All right. MediaCom, as city internet and email provider.
I got this bill last week and good thing I didn't have anyone in my office. So we pay a lot and, they decided to raise our rates an additional $50 per month. And I think what we pay for just internet is outrageous. And especially when I know there are other cheaper options that are great in town, in the area. The only issue that I see holding us back from it is currently our city's email are all through MediaCom. And the time it's gonna take to get them migrated over to something different. So, like I told Dawn, in the future, we will not be tying our emails to any internet provider. So we don't have to feel like we are dependent on them, but I'm not necessarily sure where we will go with it. In talking with Steve Altman, I kind of asked him what his thoughts were, and he said he would highly recommend Lightbeam Internet for it. And we actually have Lightbeam over at the maintenance shop because we were getting it MediaCom internet over there for free. And then they decided they were gonna either turn us off or make us start paying upwards close to $200 for it. And I just couldn't do it. So I had Lightbeam come over there. And I would like to move this building to Lightbeam as well.
What would that cost be?
When I had looked into it, we pay about $50 per month for the maintenance shop, and it would be between $50 and $100, I think, for this building.
Are they still giving us free or internet at the park, city park? That was for free, that part of the whole deal too.
Yeah.
No,
Or maybe,
has the park has got Wi-Fi on that they gave us, that was part of our deal, we agreed, we negotiated with them one time ago.
Really? Because I thought it came from Lakeview though.
Oh, is it Lightning? Maybe you're right, maybe, I don't know, I know we got it there.
I'm sure Deb's right, it's like being,
Okay, I'm sorry, I just know we have it down there, so.
And they do the ballpark too, I think.
yep,
You're right, it's
Yeah.
Lightning, thank you.
I got like even home, I like it.
so
Yeah?
I
Okay.
can't get it.
Good, I've never had problems.
I-
Dropping.
yeah,
It's-
Don and I
pay
both have
$55
Lightbeam at our
a month.
farms.
55.27.
Yeah, Don and I both have Lightbeam out at our farms, and we both have never had any issues. And if we do have any problems, we give them a call, and they are very responsive and quick, and very good at helping us.
They're right out of Olivia, right, then, so, at that firm.
I think if we can find out how to handle the email thing, I'm definitely in favor of switching.
Yep.
Just gotta figure.
Get the email figured out, and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being that we're like a government entity, being the city of Rhode Island, is there any way that Steve Altman can like, because I know with like Gmail, you can actually like put in a bid to have the ending of your email address be like specified, like Olivia Ambulance was able to get theirs like at oliviaambulance.org.
That
Is
is-
there a way that we can do that with Bird Island?
that is one thing that I would really like to do and have kind of been working on. So I have a call in with a lady at the League of Minnesota Cities and go with someone who would contract in to get, that is a cost per month for each email address you use at a domain name. But yes, that is something I'm very much looking into it and don't want to just use Gmail if I can help it. But when I got this bill, I was ready to switch us to Gmail just to be done. But
Completely understand. I believe it was Jeff Nelson with the sheriff's department. I believe it was him who actually was the one who obtained our domain for Olivia Ambulance. So he might have more answers for you if you wanted to look into something like that to obtain like that ending name for us.
okay, yeah, and I looked at, the lady at the league also told me to try to register, to get a .gov domain.
Okay.
And so I went to that website to go and look and see what it would take to get a new registry. But they
Yep.
have changed their website now and they are not accepting any new registries until the new year, till January. I
Okay.
missed it by
Okay.
like 3 days. When I went to go look. So I'm partially waiting on that. When I did talk to MediaCom, because the first thing I did as soon as I got this bill was call them and said, why has my price gone up so high? And what can we do? And then I also kind of let them know like that's, we just can't afford to be paying these prices, that we will be looking into other options. And because we are a business account, we will have to give them a 30-day notice.
I was just
when we
gonna ask,
decide.
we're not under any contractual agreement with them more than 30 days.
Just, we're thinking about doing all this. What is the guy's name from Maple Investment that worked with us to do the work from home, whatever that system is called? But that's when we had to have it switched to actually a business or it wouldn't work.
Because it was a
to
static
MediaCom.
IP address,
Okay.
but I noticed that when I was
So-
looking at bills.
So when you're looking at stuff, those things will have to go into play too, to see if that's gonna make a difference. Because he had to change all that stuff when he set it up.
Who was that?
It's a guy from Maple Investment, I think is the name of the group. Don would, I can't think of the guy's name. Okay, but I'm pretty sure that's it. And we got him through the Banyan people. So the people who do the software, to make sure that we don't, all that doesn't get, lose all that stuff, or that becomes a problem. Too many things are connected.
All right, so you'll have more for us next month. We'll probably take some action on it then, right? Or are we taking action on it? Are we switching?
One day some
I
more.
think we better wait till we have all the
That's what I think. I mean,
Yeah.
ducks in a row.
but I think, is anybody opposed to?
No,
No.
take a new provider.
Krista?
Yeah.
Nope, you're good?
I'm totally for it.
All right, thank you. All right, thanks, Tracy. All right, Mr. Dave, you have the floor.
Public Works report, we got things going on. There's a water tower, water tank inspection report in front of you, and also a new contract to consider. You don't have to take action on it tonight, there's a little window here. We have been under contract with, since I've started for the city with Wire Iron. They're a good outfit to take care of our water tower. I told them they gotta make it last forever, and he says, what? Yeah, so, the report is addressing the paint issue up the road, and was trying to be proactive with Tracy here, is to say, hey, we're gonna have a big paint bill coming up, and I asked McGuire Iron to look at that and readjust the contract so it's not one big hit in 1 year. So that's an option. So the tower is gonna have to get painted about 5 years out from now is what he figures it's gonna last. So that's what this is all about. I asked them to bring this forward. This is in the sales deal. I asked them to put this together for the city.
Are we gonna switch to that? Because I had some questions. Are we gonna just? Want to go through the rest of your report? I had some questions on the McGuire contract.
You have specific stuff in my report that you.
No, I'm asking if you have more, anything else you want to talk about in the report.
I started with water and I'm talking about
Okay,
water.
yep. That's a separate item on the agenda. But, yeah.
Yeah, the water tower stuff is
Oh,
the next
I'm sorry,
item.
I get you.
So-
Okay.
I don't
All right. Sorry about that. Thanks for reading it, being here. Okay, sanitary sewer, we reached our phosphorus limit. We've been struggling with that all year. And we're gonna probably have to spend money on chemicals. We've been having to do that for many years, and I don't want to. And, we reached the limit and we're forced not to be able to discharge any more water. Unfortunately, we had a dry summer. I'm comfortable going through this winter with where the water levels are at right now. So, it's just, the screws are getting tighter on our discharge, is what's happening there. Storm sewer is right where we wanted. I keep a lot of storm sewer so I can mix it with my discharge water. We're done discharging, so we're good. I want to bring attention to the asphalt patch that was not done in the alley behind the Rumors Bar. He had opened that last year to repair a sanitary sewer that had failed, and he agreed to put that in. And it can be considered a hazard. So I'm asking for pointing that out to let you guys know that it's something you might want to consider protecting the city from, in case something happens back there, of course, some type of action on his part. I was originally just gonna go ahead and get it patched in the city right away and take care of it, but we nixed that when the bids came in so high. So there, it's back in your court as to how you want to handle that.
This is in the alley.
The alley, yep. Yep, so, and the last thing I got is the parks, and we're going to town on the splash pad, sanitary sewer. It's going as scheduled. I have a little problem with putting the manhole in the ground, but we're hopefully have someone step forward and tomorrow or Wednesday and set it in there for me. I can't lift it. It's too big for me back up. We got it unloaded off the truck, but just a little bit too big to do it safely. So we're getting a little bigger. TNT, I talked to today, that's doing Island Living. They're gonna get pull out tomorrow, and they said if they're ready, they can set it for me. So. Okay, any questions on my report?
Just, have we been in contact, you said there's an issue with the chlorine Have you been discussing with Minnesota Water Association at all? With any advice on that or?
The chlorine is, mechanical, and started out as I reported that we had, intermittent injector problem, and that has since been fixed. We've been kicking out, a consistent chemical out there. I was hoping that overflowing the tower and doing our fall flushing, it would stabilize in our tank. And yeah, it's stabilized, but it's not as high of a rate as what I wanted. It was curious that when MDH came out and did their test, they came up with a significantly lower chlorine rate than what I had thought I was pushing out of the plant. But when they come, we operate the plant a little differently. We store the water so we can turn it on and they can take their tests. So we theorized that some of the chlorine may have dissipated from leaving it there, overnight. Also the Minnesota Department of Health engineer, John Bloomey, our regular engineer, has not been replaced yet. And that would be a person of interest. And yes, I do talk to rural water all the time about things, but I really think that this is going back to a mechanical thing, Deb, to answer your question from the month before, just taking that long to get rid of.
Or also on the phosphorus or pH, I see we had pH high levels too again,
That's
they have any other
our
rec-
water.
so there's nothing.
Until we put dollars in chemicals, we're gonna just have to live with that. So, I mean, if we wanna start dosing stuff in there, they don't want you to do that because anytime you put alum or ferric or potassium permanganate in your stuff, there's always another something else, like phosphorus. They've got chemicals that will sequester the phosphorus. Well, sequester means it's still there. You're not getting rid of it. I want to get rid of it as much as I possibly can. I want to reach that limit every year and get it down the road. So it doesn't do any good to keep it in my ponds. So I don't like spending money on sequester chemicals.
And the MPCA is not requiring us to do anything right now?
The MPC is requiring us to stay underneath the limit, which we're bumping. We're bumping.
I looked at the phosphorus on the report, is that right for April, it was 26? Is that right? On this report?
I don't know.
Okay, I just thought that was really high, and then May was 4.7. I don't know if that was a typo or.
You get high phosphorus levels with high flows, so for
Right.
discharging a lot in April, that would make sense, that number, I thought it was, right there.
They're not, I mean,
So, just to continue on that, I was thinking, okay, what if I get a lot of water? So we tested the phosphorus in August. And I came back at 0.8, 0.9. Okay, that's great. Anytime under 2.0, that's great. Okay, so, but guess what? My preliminary samples last week, I'm in my 3s. So it's no additional water was put in the pond. It's just that the weather will do that to you. Now, remember, we talked about sequestered. It's in there, so temperature releases it and settles it down. So it's a very tough thing.
we just have to see what the MPCA, what they're gonna do something and make us do something.
Well, I'm hoping we can stay underneath our 514.
Oh, so that's a possibility, yeah.
I'm saying we reached it, yeah.
Oh, we're over it now.
No,
Oh,
who told you that?
Oh, that's what I
No.
think.
Well, are we bumping it?
I can't-
Is that what you're saying?
I stopped right before it.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta figure it out, right? I want to do as much as I can, I'll say that again, as much as I can, and then stop. And I'm comfortable with holding the water that we have this year, stopping where I did.
So were you talking about discharging? You stopped discharging?
That's the only time we measure phosphorus. That
Right,
was
when you
we're
discharge, correct,
discharging.
yeah. And we did one discharge in the fall?
We just completed one discharge this fall.
In the spring, we had done one earlier in the spring.
In the spring, yeah. I just wondered when we fall, and the water level's low, so, right, is that what you're saying?
I'm happy with the water level. Our engineer at one time said they like to see us keep it between 3 foot and 4 foot of water in the winter time. And I'm going, no, I like to see it at 2 foot, 3 foot. And we're below that 3 foot right now, right at that point, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to be prepared for having to do something if that should happen.
We're have to, exactly, we might have to budget money out of the sanitary sewer to start treating chemicals.
Any other questions of Dave on his report? I have one quick one. Is there, and it's not on your report, but what's happening with that blockage over in the tile over by Olivia? Is there anything, I gave you some notes on that, I think from Commissioner Paul Setzfont.
Yes,
Is there-
I was alerted by, someone from the county and also Bolton and Mink, and maybe Matt Miller's in the audience, maybe he has any knowledge of ditch 66, the.
Is that the one with your restrictor pipe
Yeah.
on it, Dave?
Yep.
I believe a while back at the last, might not be the last, but at some county meeting, I believe they talked about getting rid of that restrictor pipe in there. And I think there's 2 separate ones if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and I can't tell you for sure if it was one or both, but I know David Palm, he was in contact with one of the guys, and I could get you an update from him after the meeting.
Would you do that, please?
I would, yep.
Yeah, thank you. I just started thinking about that. It's time to take it out this fall yet. It may be.
Remember you bringing that up, yeah.
So, that wasn't on your list, but I just, if you could get an update to Dave, that'd be, our Dave here.
That's what the county's doing. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, any other questions of Dave? If not, how about number 11, water tower inspection report?
Sorry for jumping ahead of the gun here. This is important to me, and I'll just reiterate again what I said. I'm worried about, the future costs of the water tower. The company that we're working with is great, and I told them, Tracy's working hard on putting the budget together. And I says, this is coming up down the road here. What options do you have? Well, we do this with other communities, and boom. So we've got, right now, we've got 3 years left on our existing contract, I think. And, which is just for cleaning only. There was no painting in our existing contract. And I asked them to look at the paint, evaluate it, and come up with a different solution here. He gave us a solution about, the same deal about 60 days ago. And then he called me back, and, what are you doing with that? Well, nothing yet, we're just using it for budget, and then they reduced the rate. Yeah, that was very good.
Sorry.
So, Tracy pulled out the old contract and it's still good through 2026.
Yep, 3 more years, yeah.
So with one payment of $1,650 in those 3 years.
Be for the cleaning, yeah.
Yeah, why would we not just fill this out instead of starting to pay $7,000?
I do this for budgetary purposes.
Oh.
Just to kind of see if,
Oh, so we can just keep going with our contract the way it is.
Right, and
Okay.
then 5 years from now, you're gonna get with a
Yeah.
$100,000 paint bill.
Or whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to, hey, okay, what can we do about that?
See what setting some money aside, budgeting some money
Right.
is what your thought was, okay?
Yeah, what was it last time we did the paint?
the last time we had painted, it was about $25,000.
So that's expected, and it's gonna be more, obviously. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
at least.
Yeah.
I would be surprised.
So
if we
when-
doubled that.
So. 15, yeah. So when would the plan be to paint if that's what we really want, I think?
In this proposal that's in front of you, they have the 5-year mark. If this was
So that would
adopted today.
be starting in 23, so 2028?
28-ish, so the
Or
paint lasts
28.
13 years? Last time we painted was 15,
16.
16, right?
Just another way to look at the finances is really all it is.
Some of the other things they pointed out in there, Dave, couple of the small things, I guess, I'm sure, but, is that like a new regulation or something, they wanted I wrote on my copy at the bank, there's no safety climb on the ladder.
Right, those are AWWA suggested American Water Works that
Okay.
they do, and this has always just been grandfathered in. If we do want to do any improvements on this tank, just like you do on your house, they're gonna make you fix stuff. The only thing that we fixed on this tank, in the 20 years or 18 years, whatever it is now for me, is we had to put some more, safety rails on the ladder climbing up so the kids couldn't get in there and stuff. And that's the only thing that we had to put on. He references a roof vent,
Yeah.
in here as well too. And that wasn't the original design, but they're suggesting that you have that now. The biggest tank improvement that the city needs to consider is having a mixer in that tank. Okay, I haven't had to come to you guys to tell you to do that because we've been getting by and, actually one of the rural water guys says, well, put a mixer in there, for my chlorine problem. And that's why I've been overflowing the tower every month and stuff, getting rid of my, stratification. You get warm water on top, middle water, and then the water you use in the bottom cool. It's just, when you use it too much, it takes the chlorine out. And with a mixer all the time, being consistent with it, a lot of people put them in so your tanks don't freeze. And there's this electrical pump that just turns the water up all the time. Lake Lillian's got, just a flow, deal to stop the stem shaft from freezing in the wintertime. But, the mixers are coming down in cost, they're getting a lot of attention and stuff, but, that's one thing that if we were to spend money on Bird Island's water tower, that's the first thing, but I'm not there.
How many dollars?
Yeah,
About,
below deck, yeah.
I think they're about $5,000.
Is it in the report or did I miss that? Is there,
The mixer?
yeah?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is a water tank company. Yeah, and all that, they're talking about the structure of the tower, just the inside, the outside, the legs and that type of stuff.
Okay, so one is an OSHA standard violation, it says.
There's no safety climb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is an OSHA standard violation, it says.
What
page 4
are you-
maybe? Page 4?
It might be I'm just thinking we should get estimates to, rectify these situations, and Tracy and I have spoke about this, there's OSHA safety grants out there for stuff like this, so, for the safety issues, so.
Safety climb on ladder. I wonder what that is.
Those are the two things that stuck out to me in the vent screen on that report.
The cage doesn't act as a safety climb device. No, it must be something to hook your harness to, is what I got.
Is the cable going up, Dave, that you have to have the slide out and you have your harness on? So it goes up and down?
That sounds right.
That's the cable.
Yeah. That
So
sounds
if you did
good.
anything we do high out, so you just put the cable, it goes the cable up, and then your harness has that, that retractor that you slide right up, and it goes up, so you don't have to unhook every time. Otherwise, you're supposed to have double harness. You unhook one, hook the other one, unhook one, unhook one. I think that's.
I think you're right, yeah.
So for those, 2 items that are listed in there, I mean, do we try to get an estimate in regard to the safety climb on the and the vent screen? It says it requires a vent to be installed. Not recommends, but requires, is that
Well,
telling us we have to do it?
okay, so, how that was explained to me is we have a angle roof, and that's a sealed structure up there. It's not like a cupola or anything, the stuff drips back down, which of course is an issue. Where our vent is on this thing is on the rim that goes around like the, what do you call it, on your house, the eave on your house. That's where there's a screen all the way around there, and that's where that tower vents. So what they're saying is, guess what, we've had problems with these roofs, we want them to vent up on the peak, that's where all the moisture wants to go, and this tower was never built that way to handle that. can it be modified? I'm sure anything can be modified, but one of those things you can grandfather in, if you'd like me to ask them to see what they do with their tank, cause there's still hundreds of tanks like ours out there, so if someone had did it, you know, they would know. The other thing that I was cautioned on too is if for whatever reason that this tower would fail, and we would consider doing a new one instead of painting or whatever, there's a big movement on keeping these towers in place. And like National Historic stuff, and it's almost like a lookout, is the word I'm getting on. So, I'm thinking that our towers were put up in the late 30s, early 40s. I'm hoping it lasts as long as I'm alive, so I wanna keep it in good shape, and that's why I'm bringing this forward, move forward with the upkeep. So, at your guys' direction, if that's what you wanna do, I can ask them to, if for prices on this stuff, if that's where you wanna go.
Well, we kinda have to, yeah.
Well,
Why-
the
when it
OSHA
says-
standard violation, I think we have.
Yeah, we have to do that, right? And then the other one says requires. I don't know what authority AWWA has with us. I mean, are they an authority that can controls us?
They're they're an association that advises, it's American Water Works Associates, or is what it is. They're huge, they have their big thing up in Duluth every year. I mean, those are the knowledgeable people. Matt, did you wanna add on to that at all?
AWWA, they kind of, a lot of the specifications that we follow for all our projects and that Minnesota 10 state standards for water and sewer, a lot of those specifications are based on AWWA. Based on their specifications and their requirements for different types of materials, so they're pretty well known, at least in our industry. They're kind of a pretty big player.
So when it says requires event, it doesn't say recommend. I mean, if it was recommend, that'd be at our discretion, but when it says requires, is it gonna be, force us to be out of compliance on something?
I would say no. I would
Okay.
say just like your car, you know, you've gotta have a run flat tire. That's what your car manufacturer, no, this thing was built without a vent. And any time you put a new tower up, AWWA says you better have a vent on it.
Okay.
This is already.
Okay. Well, I think we should get pricing, my thought is we should get pricing and get that safety climb thing resolved.
Yeah, you
Get
gotta
that-
get that done.
Yeah, if that's an OSHA violation, we don't want to repeat violation, right? So, that's my thought. I don't know if we need that as a motion or if we,
You just give an estimate.
okay,
Okay, we'll check it out and report back.
thank you. All right. Any other questions or comments regarding the water tank inspection report? Okay. Next item, NPDES permit compliance summary. So Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, right? NPDES permit compliance summary. Dave, or you want to address that with us, please?
What this does is the MPC reviews, you know, what we've been reporting to them, who our contact people are. It's just a review that happens every year or thereabouts, and tells us if we've been, how we've been doing with reporting, where we've been going over, like on our pH that Deb reported earlier, and it's about that's the only thing we've been wrote up for a long time here. That's where you could grab the report, Deb. I'm going, I have the report, okay?
I was looking at page 5,
Okay.
under April, especially for the phosphorus, where it says, I just don't remember it being that high ever on a district. But
One thing that I brought to my attention, I noticed in the report is, it says that they wanted a phosphorus management plan updated from us in November of last year, and I didn't realize that it was there. And I know we had talked about it, no one has really actually asked for it, so this was the first that kind of really got brought to our attention that ours was out of date. And we had talked about updating it, earlier in the year. And so we had gotten a quote from Bolton and Mink back in May when they were doing the works and and asked if we had our updated ones. We kind of knew that we probably should update it at that point. We just hadn't taken the time to do it. And now after seeing that this report, yes, I do think we need to update it so we can be in compliance and get that off of this list.
Where's that on the report, Tracy?
Next
The
page,
last two.
right there.
What page are you? I'm sorry.
Page 4, top of page 4. And so, and I'd also had asked, Ben Ossoff, who has been doing a lot of work for the splash pad too, just kind of get an estimate from his company what it would cost to do a phosphorus management plan update, just because I know originally Dave and I were thinking, we could do that to try to update it, because it didn't really seem like it would have a lot to update. But after seeing this and the time that it's going to take, I know I don't have the time to go through and really do that big update. Or I probably would have had it done by now. At this point.
Bolton Mink did the last one we had, but I think Dave supplied a lot of the info.
Yeah,
They prepared the reports, and then I know we did something with the businesses, I don't know if you went around and.
Yep,
Yeah.
the business is still there. Tracy actually dug it up and we kind of looked at that as to what we can do ourselves and what we need help from.
yeah. And the more I looked into it, and with the time, now that it's more of looks more of like a requirement that it is missing, and they are gonna want that
Yes, they are.
sooner than later.
Yes.
I think it would be better to just go out and have that completed. I don't think that's something Dave and I can do ourselves
Okay.
at this point.
All right. Let's do that.
We have 2 quotes here, so I didn't really quite understand the one from Interstate. We talked about it a little bit. I think the first one is if, you'd add them both together if they're gonna do a lot of, I don't know. Understand that.
And I wasn't exactly sure too, because they had 2 sections, and so I wasn't sure if they were doing both sections, or if, depending on which section we would want is what their price was. I was somewhat confused.
Yeah,
On
hard
that
to compare apples to
myself.
apples, that's what I thought. Because if it's adding them both up, then obviously Bolton gets a lower bid.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to get that clarified?
Yeah.
Tracy?
Again,
So we're comparing these things. Could we just then say whoever has a low bid after you consult,
and
so we can get
had,
going on it?
and I had sent Ben, our previous management plan and gave that to him and say, hey, what it costs to update this? And so they had that,
Oh,
to give their bid based on
okay.
what it was
Well, they
gonna be
must-
needed.
The MPC must have a template that you use to fill out or whatever, I guess. I'm sure it changes all the time.
So do we want to do it that way, Deb, as far as
That's what
what
I
you
would
suggested?
recommend. I make a motion that, when we're comparing apples to apples on what we need to have done for the phosphorus management plan, we go with the lower bid of the 2 companies.
Okay, I'll
Does that make sense?
All right, there's a motion, and Bill is a second?
Yep.
All right, so, and we're entrusting Tracy that you will make that comparison for us and report back at the next month's meeting, please. Is there any other discussion in regard to that? Krista? You're good?
No, I'm done.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Schneider.
Opposed? Motion passes, thank you. And now for the long-awaited, I think next time, I'm sorry, Matt, I think next time we should try to, can we move people that are traveling, move them up a
They
little closer on the
usually do.
agenda?
He actually requested to be last on the agenda.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
So, there you go.
Where do you Please come and stand in the hot spot.
Nope.
You're almost home.
No, I had another council meeting I was at earlier, and I wanna buy myself as much time as I
Okay.
can here, so.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, all right, well, like you guys know, I'm Matt Miller with Bolton and Mink. Dave last month filled in for me a little bit. I had an assessment hearing that night, final assessment hearing, so I couldn't make it last month. But I had a little bit of an outline that he ran through for me, just kinda talking about the funding that we're working with for, PFA and, some of the next steps associated with that. Luckily, we got some information back from PFA at about 4:45 this afternoon. It took about 3 or 4 phone calls throughout the day to finally hear something from them, but we got a hold of Kathy Barrett. She's kind of our area specialist, and he was able to get us a little more information. So we had there's kind of 4 different categories under there we're all applying for, but long story short, the 4 categories that we're under are going to make the draft list, meaning that we will be within the fundable range for the PFA.
Loan or grant?
They won't tell us that until we go through the work to
Okay.
get the bids. We asked that question
Okay.
too. PFA, they're kind of notorious for not telling you what your cost split is between loan and grant until you basically award or get bids for the construction costs. I think the last project though,
We knew
the
what ours was gonna be.
looping one, I think you guys got like
It
95%
was a
grant.
lot,
didn't
but
you?
we knew it ahead of time before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it makes a big difference if you don't spend
It
$1 million
does.
loan.
it does.
So.
Yep. Yep, and the loans through PFA, they're usually about a percentage less than your typical market rates. That's kind of the number that we've been told to use over the years, so it is a little bit of a better loan versus some of those other funding sources. Your split versus grant and loan, they determine that based on your city's affordability, which I believe is 1.4 times the median household income. It's based on some sort of ratio considering that. So, now that,
Were they gonna send out an email then to the city? Tracy hasn't gotten anything yet.
no,
Okay.
cause this right now, it's the draft list.
Okay,
They're still in the draft list stages, but they told us now that we made the updated draft list, they sent one out back earlier, or end of October, I believe it was. And for some reason, we weren't on that list. We were on, there, I should clarify, there's kind of 2 lists. One's called the PPL. Don't worry about the acronym, I don't think it matters. But long story short, that first list is the one where you basically see where you rank versus all the other projects in the state of Minnesota. And there was about 700 to 800 different projects that were on the list this year. So it is there's a lot of different people reaching out to PFA for funding. And like I said, we had 4 different categories. Our lead service line replacement, that ranked number 78 on the list. The water main loop ranked 218. And then the treatment and distribution, they ranked in the 500s. But usually when you have one project that hits that fundable range, it pulls them all up into that fundable range. So, yeah, just a little breakdown. Total project cost, we're expecting about just under $1.8 million. City cost, which would be the cost that's not covered by these either grant or loans through PFA, would be just under 800 or just over $800,000. And then the funding request that we sent to PFA was $957,200.
So we're covered in regard, it looks like in regard to that.
Yep.
The loan that we submit for, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that loan that we applied for, or loan or grant, the funding, that was just for the water system only. We talked about doing the sewer system, because there's a little bit of sewer work down on Ranchwood that we need to get fixed. But just to go through all those hoops to apply for the one little stretch on there, it's not really cost effective for the city. It's a lot of hoops for not a lot of money.
Which project did you say was number 500? I'm sorry. Which part of that? I missed that.
Oh, that was the treatment and distribution.
Thank you. Okay.
Yep, and it's more so based on your total points than it is the actual rank. So anyone who gets 10 points, they're gonna list you in alphabetical order. So if there's 500 cities that have 10 points on the list, all cities are gonna be equal, and they're just gonna start numbering, giving you a number alphabetical. So some city that starts with a Z, they might have the exact same number of points as you, but they might be number 700 on the list.
Oh.
Just for reference. So then the next steps, the weather is getting a little colder here, and it's almost Thanksgiving, and that means, as nice as the weather is, there might be some snow coming. For this project, we'll have to do some surveying work, and there was a proposal that was in the little report from last month's meeting. So then the next steps, if the city council chooses, would be, I guess, to move ahead and start with some survey work. Since we know you guys are on the draft list. I guess after the final list is officially published, which would hopefully be in December, I'd say then we could kind of go ahead with the rest of the plans and specs and start working on the assessment hearing and getting some of that stuff if you so choose.
I'm not comfortable with moving ahead with anything till we know what the funding is going to be. I don't understand that. I mean, I think you should have some, I mean, we're gonna be spending 900,000 on interest versus grant, it's a big deal to me. I mean, that's just, I would
Is it
want to know
different?
for sure.
Is it different than it's been in the past, or as Debbie said that
Yeah,
We knew.
I don't,
we knew?
yeah, we knew what we were getting before
From the conversation I had with Dave Palm, he's kind of obviously the engineer that worked on the last looping project and everything. I believe that the way he said that water main looping project which was a PFA project, just kind of the same as we're doing here. I think that you guys applied, got funding, went through all the design and everything, and then you got bids, I think it was.
well, that would make sense.
Yeah, you got bids and then you found out that the funding wasn't as favorable as you thought, and then you pushed it off another year until they came back and said, hey, we have some extra money, we could give you this certain extra dollars in grant.
We let it sit, yeah, we didn't do anything with it at all.
Yeah, so you guys got the first funding
We didn't,
information after you bid, right? And then,
no, I don't recall that at all.
okay.
I don't recall that at all. I know that there was something about where we waited a year. I don't know what it was for, why we waited at that time. But we didn't bid the project. We went to bid the project before.
Okay.
Why would we, no.
That we went off the engineer's estimate.
Yeah. What,
That we went off the engineer's estimate.
did we, but we went off the engineer's estimate for our costs when we
Right.
did all the
When we
paperwork.
applied.
But I don't remember ever
We
bidding a
did,
project
we
before
did, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We went off the engineer's estimate.
It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it doesn't sound right to me. Right?
No, we didn't.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Well, we're going through the same thing on a few different
Yeah.
projects. We have a project that we were kind of a year ahead of this one here down in Westbrook, I believe. That's a water treatment plant rehab, and that's exactly what they went through down there. They went through all the design, everything, got the plan certified, and once they got that and took bids, now we're finally getting the cost split from PFA. We didn't know that going in at
I
all.
know what it was now. We didn't quite make the cutoff for a grant. So we found out, we let it, our project stayed there, and then we moved up because the projects above it got
Which
done.
we've moved up every
And
time.
then we, yeah, that's what it was. There was something with that, with the level of where you are.
Waiting
and
for
how
the
much-
money. Yep.
Waiting for the money to be grant instead of loan.
Okay,
Yeah.
So, you know, what Matt's asking here, do we wanna do any preliminary surveying for this project before the snow flies?
You know, worst case scenario, nothing, the project gets done in 25 instead of 24, right?
We'd have to reapply then. We'd have to go through the
Why
work
would
to
you have to
reapply.
reapply?
Would your preliminary engineering work still be valid?
I believe so. Yep. I'd recommend we update costs just to reflect another year out, another year of inflation and everything. If you wait, say you wait till December when the final list comes out. From there, the PFA, they give you 6 months to approve plans and specifications. So we would have to get plans and specs done by, I guess, 6 months after whatever this day in December they approve it. And then we would be surveying in the middle of December in order to get that done.
I don't recall us having to we stayed on the list.
Yeah.
We said that use plan.
Next use.
I don't recall having to do that over,
Unless it's changed.
unless something's changed, I don't know.
I know for the city of Stewart, we got on there last year for the water cycle, but we were a cycle behind for the sanitary sewer apply. So we basically had to reapply. I mean, it was a pretty straightforward reapply, you know, you update costs and everything, but we still had to reapply to that project.
It's kind of hard sitting here knowing a project's worth 1.8 million and we don't know for sure where the money is coming from before we
Yeah, that-
start. That's a hard thing for me to do.
Me too. Especially with interest rates as they are. I mean, it's,
Meaning what would be covered by grant or loan, then we'd have to sell bonds for the rest of it, right? That's what we're gonna have to do. And do we want to do all the projects now, or do we want to maybe, after we find out what the funding's gonna be?
If you guys aren't sure about funding or anything, or you're thinking about splitting up the project a little bit, I mean, that's something you guys can do too. I know part of the project is right by the splash pad. And part of that includes doing a new water main to serve that splash pad. If you guys really wanted, I think that's something that we could maybe split out separately, but I don't know how that would work with PFA funding. I'd maybe wait to see what we hear from them before we start really seriously chatting about splitting some of that stuff out. But
is there any of this that has to be done for the splash pad?
That's the water main looping.
Does it have to be done, or are we gonna come in from a different?
So here was the discussion on that with Ben. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use a 2-inch line that was put in 1980, whatever. It's coming from intersection of Dogwood and 11th Street. We're gonna intercept that line and put it in the new building, and by the way, we're digging the footings for that building this week here.
Okay,
Okay, so we're gonna stub that into the block, and we're also gonna put a brand new 4-inch stub in there. That is gonna hook up to this future line that's not here yet. So, when we were kidding about it, stuff, can we realistically expect that this 2-inch line's gonna be big enough for the splash pad? Well, we're kidding about it, so, and I'm thinking, maybe, you know, we're working on the sanitary sewer down there, which is, that's gotta go first, okay? We got 2 pipe in the ground, we got 18 more to go, so we're only 10% done, okay? So, when we get that done though, and if the weather's favorable, I'm gonna go, you know what, let's put that storm sewer in too, that's next. And then when I get the storm sewers done, I'm gonna go, you know what, everything's going good, let's get that water main out of the street, then we can close up our street, because all 3 of those things have gotta go in that intersection. But, you know, I'm just thinking, I wanna do that part of it, but the weather's gonna dictate what we can do. Now, keep in mind, the water's the easiest to do in the spring because it's the shallowest. Okay, so the other thing that I want to caveat on right away, because we know that's a priority, I told you guys time and time again, that ranchwood thing is a problem. It's gonna bite us one day. All right, we're not gonna apply for money for the sewer thing. Matt just went over that. We got some water work there to do. You know, I mean, there was two things that I wanted to do that, you know, needed to be looked at. Those would be my highest priority things. I think that's what you're asking. What's really got to get done? Those are the hits.
Yes, did I get the answer about, so if we don't do the water part of the project by the splash pad, we can still do the splash pad project or not? Did I not? Because I thought I asked that last time. Did I?
I think when the gentleman and I were talking, I think that, you know, it depends on how many, that's like at home, how many faucets you got going. Is someone in, doing the clothes and somebody's trying to take a shower and somebody's washing dishes? Guess what? There's only so much water that your house thing is gonna feed, or you're gonna know it's a pressure deal. And so when it goes back to the splash pad apparatuses, how much water are they gonna use? How many apparatuses are functioning? I think that's gonna be the deal.
In our meetings with Vortex, I believe Vortex, I remember Jeff from Vortex sitting here at the table telling us that a 2-inch line would be sufficient. Yeah, bigger was always nicer, but they require a minimum of a 2-inch line. So from those meetings, I feel like the 2-inch line will be okay for now, but like we said, the 4-inch would be
And
nice.
the looping part, which was what number? You said two
Uh,
hundred something?
yeah, the looping,
218.
218.
But if one of them is in that 78 number, normally drags the other
Yep.
projects up to it.
Yep, so all four of those categories on there.
I've never heard of that either. So any project you have water related, one makes the grant level, they bring the other ones with?
Not necessarily the grant level,
Okay,
the
that's-
fundable. level.
Oh, fundable,
Yep,
so, okay.
fundable. Yep.
So loan,
Yep.
if it's loan,
Yep.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I never, okay.
I want to add something to Tracy's comment about the 2-inch line being big enough. It's a big difference when you have a 2-inch line that's only going 40 feet from a water main to the structure. This one's going 2 blocks down to Dogwood. So you're gonna lose some volume, pressure. So
Back to Deb's point, and I concur. It'd be nice for us to know if we're gonna be borrowing, give or take, $800,000.
Mhm.
Nice for us to know if that's, how much of that's gonna be, if we're gonna be paying interest on, or it's gonna be a grant.
Well, the 800,000 is the extra, that's not even, that's in addition to.
That's the city, the city cost is whatever.
Yeah, that's nothing, but the PFA stuff. that-
PFA is at 957, that's,
But that could be all loan,
that could all be loan.
right? I mean, we don't know, that's what I mean, we don't
Oh.
know.
I wouldn't expect it to be all loan.
I don't know.
I would, 50-50 is kind of a nice target to
Okay.
shoot for, but,
Depends on how high you are.
and it depends on the city's budgetary concerns too. I mean, usually if you're in more of a little financial burden, usually you end up having a little better chance at getting loans too, because it's based on the city's affordability. And there's a certain number that they use, and any total cost under that number, it's always gonna be loan. But if your project cost pushes you over that affordability mark that they use, then that's typically always grant. They usually, I can't say I know of them sticking cities with loans above their affordability. And their affordability numbers are actually lower than the affordability numbers that rural development used. Rural development was the funding agency that did all the sewer projects throughout town. They use a 1.5 for RD, rural development, and PFA uses a 1.4 number factor. So Dave sent a follow-up email after he chatted with Kathy Barrett, who's been the PFA representative for this area for quite a few years. I think Deb, you've chatted with her
Oh, I-
numerous times, I'm sure.
More well, yeah.
Yep. And I'll just pull up the email here and read it to you guys, just so we're all on the same page about what exactly she said here. I think that'll be the easiest. Alright, so this is from David Palm. FYI, I just received a call back from Kathy Barrett at PFA. She reviewed the new internal updated draft IUP, the final IUP, which is the IUP is that list that tells us if we make that fundable range or not. The final IUP has not been issued yet, but will be in the near future. And she stated that Bird Island projects are now on the updated draft IUP. So originally when the list came out, we were not on that draft IUP for some reason. We sent everything in, but I think, I don't know, something got screwed up at the state level. They missed it or someone didn't read an email, something like that. Long story short, they have that draft period because they know they make some mistakes like that. So we let them know like, hey, we submitted for this, now we're on here. Or we were wondering if what our status was. They checked, and now we're on the list. So to continue, the projects include lead service line replacement, water treatment plant, filter media, water main looping improvements, water main distribution improvements. And actually, Dave and Tracy were sent this email too, along with CC to Kathy Barrett, so they could maybe send it on if you guys are interested. Dave's email states that she also stated that PFA grant loan splits are not finalized until after projects are bid and submitted to the PFA for final determination of funding,
Wow.
along with other city financial statements
Some change.
and maintenance and operation costs.
Wow.
And actually, I can probably speak of this a little more. I'm helping with the city of Wabasso with the big sewer project that they're doing. It's a split between rural development and PFA. We knew our numbers from RD pretty early on, but we didn't get that number from PFA until just a few months ago.
This doesn't make sense to me that you would bid out a project when you have no, in our case, if we're gonna get that much loan, we're talking about substantial increases in our user fees.
You would
I
be, yeah.
mean, you have to kind of know that stuff before you pull the plug on. Oh, no.
And no one says that you have to use PFA either.
PFA, but that's a lot better than USDA.
PFA is significantly easier to deal with than RD, rural development. That is,
So
That is a fact.
what if the surveying got done in the spring? Why can't we wait until the spring?
well,
We're finding this out now, and, it's kind of like, we're supposed to make a decision.
yep, we've been waiting for funding results here for a little while now.
Yeah.
But, so kind of like I touched
I'd like
on,
to get some clarification
Yeah.
from her on some stuff.
yeah, so PFA, they say that your project has to be submitted and certified for your plans and specs within 6 months from their final notice. To keep everything on schedule for their fiscal year, basically. They give you a 6-month window to basically keep everyone's projects rolling. So that way they're not carrying over funds to future years. So if we do it in the spring, we're gonna have a couple weeks to do the design for the whole project, basically. There's could be quite a few blocks of design that we need to do. That's not a couple week type of design.
Wow. That doesn't make sense to me.
Who's the gal that you've talked to?
Kathy Barrett,
Kathy.
I
So,
would have rather come in here and talk to her with Tracy.
yeah,
Cause I don't like, that's a lot of,
seems like it's a lot different than what
yeah, the whole concept doesn't make sense to me.
I agree with you. I don't think
Yeah.
it makes sense to hang cities out there to try for 6 months.
We're supposed to spend all this money
Yeah.
up front without having any idea
Yeah.
what kind of funding we're getting.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I think I do not agree with how they have been handling this recently. I'm not sure exactly how they did it on your past project, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
I can't speak to it, but
Yeah.
recently, this is what we've been seeing how they're doing things, and them doing it this way along with a few other things with the lead service lines and all that other stuff there. There's a lot of hoops they got going up in there that they can't really, they're kind of all over the place up there.
And in reality, we didn't get the letter yet, so we get the letter now, December, whatever. They're expecting everybody to get their surveying work and all their specs and stuff done in 6 months. People aren't gonna be able to survey like they're gonna do it in the spring, most likely.
Yep.
I mean,
That's,
if they don't get the letter from why would they, I mean, I don't understand that.
yeah, and that's kind of why we asked about doing some of the survey work a few months ago, actually. Just because we know this is how PFA tends to operate, and we didn't just ask you guys, I mean, for other communities that we work with, we just know that this is how their funding system operates, and that's something that we ask. City of Stewart, they were finishing up the survey for their project right now.
Both Tracy and I kind of told them that, well, let's just wait until we know if we made the list, you know? That's where we were at last month, you know, that's where I brought to you last month. Okay. Now you are on the list, do you wanna bite or you wanna wait? That's really what the warning is.
It sounds to me like we'd like to, so, yeah, I think if it seems like a big difference from what
It
has
is,
happened in
and
the past.
it's a big difference in, yeah, I
And
don't
maybe that's the way that it is.
That's
But-
fine, that's fine. You could at least get an inkling from her, knowing what our situation is and the loans we have now. What do you think, you know? She could give like some sort of a, yeah, like, okay, this one's, yeah,
If you guys want to, I actually
Yeah,
think we might have some funding, some of our funding group, they might be able to do that same thing too. I don't know if Kathy goes to that whole level of work for cities or not. I'm not exactly
Oh, no,
sure,
I mean, yeah,
but I know we have a few people that can maybe get you some preliminary estimates maybe. I could maybe quiz them and see,
estimates for what?
like your possible grant or loan versus grant split. I could chat with them, see if it's possible to maybe estimate, they could look at your affordable, your mean household income,
Oh.
find that ratio in there.
Yeah, we can do that easily enough. Yeah, well, no, we wouldn't need help with that.
So where should we leave it? At this point, I guess
We haven't even got an official letter and we're supposed to start spending money. I don't know.
I think Deb should use her previous contact with Kathy Baird and.
I want to have a conversation with her about some of this stuff because it doesn't make sense to me.
Got a tool that's used.
But if that means not doing the project next year, then does that
Well,
mean, is that what it's gonna be?
It's gonna be a lot more pressure in the spring, and when you put pressure on stuff, and sometimes things don't get done so correctly. But,
Or I guess that was my question, worst case scenario, if it doesn't get done. That's why I asked the importance of the splash pad thing. I mean, so what if that gets done in 2025 instead? Is that gonna be,
and that's
we don't
why,
know.
that's why I made the comment about finishing the streets, okay, that 2-inch line was right there, 20 feet away from my 4-inch main, I just took across the street, now I just eliminated 300 feet of 2-inch line. Would that help the little pad? But hey, Dave, go hook that up, 300 foot shorter, you know, so it's important.
Just so you guys know, and just so you guys know, the survey proposal that we put together, I don't know if you saw the date on that.
What if you just did the survey for that part of it and that sewer part that Dave, those two things,
like on Ranchwood, you're saying
Yes.
Ranchwood and over by,
I would like,
Dogwood by Splash Pad?
what would the bid be for that?
I'd
It was 9,000
Oh,
earlier for
yeah.
the survey for the whole thing.
Total is 9?
Yep, total is 9. I could chat with the guys and get you a number.
It would just be, those seem to be the critical two things that need to get done. So, if we don't get any grants, then we just have to, and people can yell at me, it's crazy.
I'm just not gonna answer that, even when I'm the only one here.
How quickly, Mark, could you get us an estimate on that survey? I mean, just for those two, like the down by the splash pad and range.
I could let you know here by the end of the
Couple
week,
days?
easy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we do something like approve up to an amount? 5,000.
Do we have any, well, yeah,
She was 9,000.
if it's 9 total, we,
Okay, I make a motion, we authorize up to 5,000 for engineering fees to survey the project at Ranchwood and Birch for the splash pad project. I wanna sit here all day.
not for you to use all that either.
As always, we're only in charge of what we do.
Does that make sense?
Is that it? I was just gonna ask.
Also,
I'll get a second from Bill, and then we'll ask for a little discussion. Does everybody understand? So this is the area down by the splash pad, and this is the Ranchwood where the concerns that we had.
Birch and 11th, right? Is it where the looping is?
It would be Birch and Cherry.
The regional between Birch and Cherry.
Oh, okay.
Birch and
That's
Cherry.
the looping fence, but it's the looping one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sound good? You understand what
Yep,
we're looking
yep.
for?
Yep, when I get back to the office, I'll chat with the guys, let them know what the scope is, send over a new number to you guys, and we'll go from there.
Okay,
Make sure it's less than $5,000.
4,900.
yeah, that's extremely important.
Well, now I'll do $9 less than that.
Krista, do you have any questions?
Not. She's sick of the discussion.
Yeah, you're trying to get that, all right. So we'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. All right, is there any other business to bring before the board, the group here, the council?
Oh my God.
If not, the motion to adjourn?
I'll move, Krista.
She's really ready.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Everyone.
You're not difficult.
I just don't